Good. Well, have you guys got coffee or tea, whatever your preferred drink is? Mine is a black coffee when I'm at home, and then when I am out, I'll normally go for a flat white. So, anyway, welcome to Vanguard Tactics. I'm Stephen Box, and if you are interested in Warhammer 40k, then you're in the right place. Every day I go live during this lockdown to try and help keep myself and you guys a little bit saner. And yeah, welcome to the chat if you've joined in live. And every day I will be going live at 6 o'clock or thereabouts. You know, I might be a couple of minutes late like I was today, but hey, I hope you guys are doing well. So what I want to know, if you are in the chat, is what is your preference of coffee? Is it a black Americano? Is it an espresso? Is it a flat white, a cappuccino, a latte, a cortado, some sort of weird thing with syrups in? Yeah. Let me know. Or you're a tea drinker, you know, like green tea, Thai tea, regular kind of Earl Grey breakfast tea. Yeah, want to know. So today we had the Warhammer previews. So I thought we'll, delve into a little bit of what I thought about the previews, what I thought my thoughts were. Let's talk about that. So anyway, what have I been up to today? This morning, I got up a little bit later than normal. Went for a long walk, so did about 8,000 steps. Took me about 70 minutes. Went on a huge long walk, basically, for just over an hour. Sort of shared my views on coronavirus and this pandemic that we are in over on Instagram. So if you're interested in my thoughts, but I think it was quite a deeper point to this whole thing, and maybe some positives that we can all gain from it. But sorry if I sound a little bit sort of quieter today. I've got this really banging headache that I can't seem to get rid of, so it's quite annoying. I've just took some paracetamol, so hopefully that will sort it out. But I think basically I slept funny, and I get like really bad tension in the back of my neck, and it sort of creeps up into my head, creating these horrible headaches. Or if I've looked at a screen for too long, either of those things could be possible. I've worked a lot of hours last week, so today has kind of been chilling. Been chilling out a lot today, so I did that walk, which was good, and then I came back today and I've just been painting for the rest of it, and then I had a little nap, which is why I was late, because I may have overslept slightly. So yeah, now I've got my coffee, a little bit of cheeky pick-me-up. So what have I been working on? Well, last night in our mentorship group, we do a lesson called Hobby Night, and there was a particular task in there about using the color wheel. Okay, so I have gone and done my kind of reds with the green. I still need to bring out a little bit more of the red, but let's see if that will come in focus. So there we have it. So yeah, not the most amazing job on Celestine herself, but I've kind of put the face in roughly. Wish you would stay still for the camera. Yeah, it's just like quivering about a bit. Stop it. Stop quivering. There we go. That's a bit better. Look, so I would have liked the reds to be a little bit brighter. I have used a varnish, and I just need to blend in the wings now, and then the sword. But this is kind of what we've got as the using the color wheel and using opposite colors. So yeah, that was my attempt of the challenge, and it does actually look quite good on the tabletop. So I'm sure with a few more hours put into that. And then I just basically put red on everything. So my whole army is now red, which is good. It's no longer primed. And then I sort of did some quick airbrush on these guys. So this is, as you can see, I've got like the Xenophor highlights on the go there. Sort of blends of silver. And today I tried using the wash just through the airbrush, which sped it up. Then a light silver just hit in certain patches, as you can see the really light bits, and then a Agrat's shade all over. So that actually is super quick, and I'm quite happy with that effect. So even though I just need to now block in the rest of the colours, and I think on the whole, as a base, that's all right because I've got 9 of these to do. So yeah, pretty happy with that. And then the other girls now with the put like a satin varnish on, they're looking all right. So yeah, kind of happy with it. I mean, it's not the most, it certainly won't be my best painted army, but it looks okay for the fact that there's just hundreds of models to paint. So, and if I can get that done by the time this is over, this is all positive. So the new releases from GW. So we had, first of all, I'm going to be mainly I'm not really picking up 3 of those. I'll be picking up 3 of those boxes. That's my AOS army pretty much done. Okay, because then all I need to add is probably some of those big hammer people. They're bound to be good. And then that big, massive mountain bull with a hammer. He's going in. So yeah, starting AOS, and I love it that they get to fight twice. Well, you get to pick 2 units to fight. I'm all about that. You know me in combat, guys. So any little tricks like that, and I'm already like, yeah, this is me. On to that tactic. So yeah, I'll be certainly using the elves going forward in my AOS little campaign that I'll be running. I don't mean an actual campaign. I just mean like when I'm out there trying to do what I can do with the AOS at tournaments and stuff, because I think that'll mix it up a little bit for me, and I think I'll quite enjoy that. Plus, I love high elves. I was really gutted, actually. I downloaded. So anyway, yeah, what are your thoughts on the elves, by the way? Are you going to be going for the elves, or are they a load of old hype, do you think? What do you reckon? Are they going to be the mustard? Because they better be. I want them to be, you know, the thing. So, yeah, I reckon they're going to be like high skill level, you know, bit of a glass cannon, can't really take a hit, but they'll hit hard. And I think if they do that, then yeah, boom. Right, so that's that. Then they did some animation stuff. I mean, I'm not really into the animation myself, so I'm not skip over that bit. And we'll get to the good thing. The 40k. Oh, actually, I thought their Forge World Chaos things were all right. If you're looking for like some sort of character, they're pretty cool. But yeah, what was I going to say? 40k review. Yeah. So we've got 2 new models that have been released. We've got some sort of Sister of Battle. Great. Harlequin. Great. 2 armies I have both of. Double great. So that's good. They also announced the 9th. And actually, I think those models look really cool, and I'm definitely going to be picking them up. So they then said Psychic Awakening Piranha is going to be coming out. It all smells a bit fishy to me, but you know, it's going to be one of those things that apparently it's their 9th book, and it's going to be in a white dwarf, I believe. This is Deathwatch and Harlequins. Now, the good news is that I don't have to wait long. The bad news is in a white dwarf, which means if you don't get it, that's it. But I think so much that they don't want to. It may still come out. Pariah, you know, piranha, whatever. Some sort of thing. Swims around in the sea, eats you. You know me, guys. I'm not very good with words, so we're just going to go with the piranha. And yeah, I mean, I think we got to appreciate the fact that, in all seriousness, that coronavirus may have took its toll on the GW printing. So. And shipping and all that, which is why they're going to give us into a white dwarf form before they then come out with a book. So they probably will come out with a book, because otherwise, if they don't, and if you can't get the book, then you're in trouble. You know, like for people that want to start the army in, let's say, 6 months' time, you won't be able to get that white dwarf. So yeah, I think it will be out. All right, I think it really will, is my expectations. Like they did with Ynnari, it came out in a white dwarf, and then it came out again in Chapter of Proved. They'll probably do something similar to that, really. So Apparently, piranha is a freshwater fish. All right, you know, I'm not some sort of fish expert, you know. I mean, I'm barely a 40k expert, but here we are talking about 40k. But I tell you what, I am an expert in what coffees I like. Yeah, and I'm not that fan of this one. It's okay, but I am missing. You know, do you remember the days when you could just walk to a coffee shop, just sit down, order a flat white, and just enjoy it? You know, starting to forget those days. Makes me sad. Anyway, so that's definitely something that I said that I'll never ever take that for granted ever again after this. And I think that is one of the beautiful things about what we're going through right now. Costa or Nero, neither. You will rarely ever see me in a chain coffee shop, because unless there's literally nothing else, because their coffee is far too hot, so it burns the milk and it just tastes dreadful. So yeah, I'll normally always go to an independent coffee place, because normally they've got like a real passion rather than just they got a job working at Costa, rather than this is my own independent shop and I love this shop and I want you to have a great experience. So I'm all about independent things, whether it's restaurants, coffee, yeah, all that sort of good stuff. Because myself as a business owner, I know how much passion I put into my products, because I want my customers or my students to absolutely love it, to find loads of value. But if I employed somebody to do the same job as me and basically do it for me, I know that they wouldn't have the same like passion for it as I do. So yeah, that's why I always like to support independent businesses, because I also know how hard it is to run an independent business. It's very difficult. It's a lot of work and a lot of hours have to go into it. So guys, yeah, what were your thoughts on the reviews? And if you've got any questions, please let me know. Apparently, somebody brought it to my attention that the Ultramarines that I spoke about yesterday, I said there was a stratagem that allows you to go back to Devastator Doctrine. Apparently, you then have to go back to the Assault Doctrine after on the Warhammer. There was a question on the Warhammer thing, so I'd like to see them bring out an FAQ officially for that, because that's not how it sounds in the codex, in the stratagem. It says you go back to it and then you cycle through, is obviously what normally happens. So it's a shame you can't go back to Tactical Doctrine for the turn, which is where you want to be. It's weird that the Ultramarines have one that allows you to go back to Devastator Doctrine. I can see why. If it was once per game or once per use only stratagem, you go back to Devastate in the way I suggested sounds really good. So yeah. Okay, can we get ahead of it and start calling Ragnar and Cone and Pulsar the Ragnar Rush? Yeah, I mean, you can do that if you want. Wolf Ragnar Blackmane. You can coin that if you wish. I mean, I don't think, yeah. Can we talk about competitive Space Wolf combos, please? I think there's one, and it's 30Wolfen. Yeah. Or Warlord, should I say, and Priest with them to give them that +2 charge. That's what it's all about. So if you actually want to see my, we actually did a full video on the Space Wolves. So if you go back 2 or 3 videos ago, I actually spoke about the Space Wolves completely as an entirety from the new Psychic Awakenings. And then also in the description below, you can find the links to my list, so you can download that. I think I've got some bikes and then Wolfguard. There's some couple of good combos there. Yeah. Oh, Matthew, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well, mate. I haven't had a coffee in 18 days. Joaquin, wow, you're like a changed man. Hey, Steve, not in a position to join the mentorship at the moment. I'm still building my army. How will it work once full? Once someone graduates, does a place become available or there'll be a waiting list? So how it's going to work is There's no reason for you not to join while you are building your army. Okay, your list before you buy the models. Okay, because otherwise, what's going to happen is you're going to buy all these models that you like the look of. You're going to spend ages building them, painting them, and actually, you might come to realize that when I put you through the tasks and the lessons that you have to do on a weekly basis and sometimes daily basis, obviously it's optional to do the daily ones, but they are there. You may realize that you have some of the wrong units in your army, and therefore you've just spent all this money on loads of the units that you're never going to use. The Sisters army up there, I play tested with before I purchased any models. So I have literally a redundancy of about 2 other units. But apart from that, exactly the same. I worked on my list, I got that developed first, and then I bought that. So learning the skills within the mentorship program, although you can't play, there's still so much education that you can do. So for example, I spend most of my days learning about video editing. Now, I'm not video editing all the time. And actually, I'm learning about cameras now with what lens I need to buy and all that stuff. I'm not going to buy the lens until maybe 6 months' time, but I'm doing the research now. So when I do have it, that I won't be trying to play, learn at the same time. I'd have developed that education before I actually can put it down on the tabletop. So yeah, that is why I would definitely join now. And I'm not just saying that, but it would make the most sense to. The other thing as well, there'll be a waiting list. Basically, yeah, that is what I'm going to create, is a waiting list, or maybe I won't intake anybody new for a while until I can maybe employ somebody fully to help me, to assist me with all the administration that has to go on until they're maybe, and that might be like 3 to 4 months before they're fully trained and I feel like we can take on more people. So yeah. Have we discussed the Deathwatch Psychic Awakening releases produced in White Dwarf in the future Deathwatch Bleak? No, yeah, we have spoke about it, and if I'm honest, I think it's because of coronavirus that we've seen it coming in a White Dwarf. I feel like they want to get it out, and I think it will be in a book later on. So let's just bear with them. Just because it's in a White Dwarf doesn't mean the words written are any less powerful than if they're in a book. They still work. They're still going to be effective. Deathwatch don't actually need that much. Some of the Psychic Awakening, let's be honest, are on 4 pages. Yeah, they're on we got 2 pages for stratagems, 1 page for new psychic powers, and that's pretty much it. So there's not really, we're not really going to miss out on a huge amount. Apparently, White Dwarf's on a 6-month production cycle. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how White Dwarfs are made, but I could imagine they're probably easier to sort out than a book. I don't know. Did you see the new Astartes 5? I did. I didn't really understand it, though. I'll be honest. I thought there was just this big ball thing, and then they got sucked into it, and I'm not really sure why. Yeah. Anyway. How does your Ultramarines list do against your Blood Angels? Put it this way. As a Blood Angel player, I would never, ever, ever want to face my Ultramarines list. Ever. Because I think hands down, if I had to play myself and have my Ultramarines in one hand and have my Blood Angels in the other, I can pretty much guarantee the Blood Angels are going to lose 9 times out of 10 to that list. Maybe even more. So, what other questions? Yeah, let me know if you've got any more questions, guys. If not, we'll wrap that up today, as I need to get back painting and chilling on my day off. I'm still waiting for my mouse to arrive, because then I can do some really cool editing. But then I got the thing from Amazon to say it could be here by 8 p.m, so should be here, hopefully, in the next. I tell you what, let's refresh it. Let's refresh my order. Well, hasn't been dispatched apparently. So, but arriving by 8 p.m. So I have no clue where my mouse is. Apparently, it's not been dispatched yet. What's that about? Mr. Hatch said, real question. How do I beat Rich Kilton with my Ultramarines? You roll his dice for him, okay? That's what you need to do. Like Colton, obviously, like you are a fantastic player, and you just need to ensure that you've got any like fly keyword units up front and all your aggressors behind, if you've got aggressors or assault centurions, whatever you're using, within 6 inches of all those units so they can all overwatch, all right? But yeah, I made the mistake of putting my aggressors in my repulsor, and then when he used his super shock attack gun, I rolled 5 1s when they got out, and I lost my entire squad. Not so good. So yeah, put your aggressors on the board, not in any transports. Lesson learned. Or get them out extremely quickly. But now actually, yeah, I think like the Ultramarines should win that game. Yeah, Mr. Kilton and his dice in our RTT game, I got absolutely. It was a very close game, actually. It was a very good game. But yeah, when he destroyed my shock attack, my repulsors with that shock attack gun, 3 out of 3, I was just in disbelief. So yeah. But you leave an opening, and Mr. Kilton will destroy you. So do not do that. Make sure you're bubbled, screened out well, any forward units, and I did a module on it actually on how to deploy Ultramarines on the Mentorship course. So yeah, make sure you check that out. It's on module 5, and yeah, I think it's called screening, and it's literally how I deploy my Ultramarines army versus something like Orcs or Gene Stealer Cult, Blood Angels, anything along those lines, basically. So yeah, definitely check that out, Colton, because now it's available at week 3, so you definitely should have access to it. Raul said, what type of loadout would you do for the 30Wolfen? Yeah, 9 hammers, yeah. Hi, Stephen. Is it a good idea to use Teleportarium stratagem on a Deathwatch Leviathan to keep him safe turn 1 and get him in range? It is. It's probably a good way to run him. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good option, but then you can't put 3 units of vets in Deep Strike. So that's what you want. You want your vets in Deep Strike. Otherwise, they're like, how are they going to get there? You only can, because, yeah. It's okay if you go second. No, it's okay if you go first, because you can use your teleport homers on the front of the board. Then you can redeploy within 6 of that. But you already know if you're going first anyway. So actually, you can just deploy your whole army on the table. But you want to be going second as a Deathwatch player. So yeah, if you're running, you could do it if you run 2 big units of vets and a Leviathan, and then you got to take the rapier cannon as your other like auxiliary, or as your other heavy support, because obviously he's a relic. Yeah, I don't know. What is the best way to use Blight Lord Terminators? I have no clue. Generally, I mean that honestly. I haven't looked at them. Death Guard need a fair bit of help. So at the moment, I would probably just deploy them all on the table and just push them up, bullying the middle of the middle table, basically, in the biggest squads I possibly could, and just cast as many buffs and abilities on them as I, could as well. Yeah, and just sort of move in advance turn 1, probably do that turn 2. Yeah. Henrik has said, I'm a member but can't get past module 1. Henrik, so what happens is you will access a new module after time periods. So essentially, I have made sure the mentorship program, I've got 2 types of access. You can pay in full for the entire year up front, and you get full access, right? And you also that you get a video every week. Otherwise, what happens is if you try and see, the thing is, we're in this coronavirus, people have got a lot more time on their hands. So I'm sure people have just smashed through it straight away. But the because obviously with how we learn, if I was to give everyone full access straight away, then not only on the 2-week trial could they just watch everything and I would never have a business. So that's number one. And I wouldn't be able to make content. So that's pretty bad. Number two, you wouldn't actually learn anything because you would just listen to the information. It'd go in one ear, out the other. There's no time. The only time really you learn is when you put things into practice or you critically think about it, which is why we have the daily lessons in the community where you can actually start to put this theory into some sort of theoretical practice, okay? And normally with people's schedules, if I said, yeah, guys, just crack on and join the mentorship program and you've got like 100 hours worth of content, they'd be like, oh, well, I'm never going to complete that. Whereas if you know you only have a video once per week, it's manageable and you'll retain that information. So basically, Henrik, you'll get access to module 2 after 4 weeks. You get access to module 3 after 12 weeks. So then you've basically got a video every single week. All right. Modules, because I thought you might want to do a couple on a Saturday, leave it 2 weeks, do another couple. So that's why I did it this way. So yeah, hopefully that helps. But you do now get access to module 5 at 3 weeks because of the coronavirus, because that's essentially the time when through the that module is where we go over all the skill elements that you can get, 10 models on the table and you can start to practice. And I thought that would be really valuable. Which is why I've made that very new to the game. But the Reaver models got me for the Space Marines, so would love to use them. Hard they suck, sadly. Heard they suck, sadly. So what you want to be focusing on is white scars, because the reason why, and again, this is something I teach, is all about understanding the power of what something is able to do. Now, with the white scars, you're always looking for things that can essentially affect movement. That's one of the big phases of the game, the movement phase. The game helps you literally win and lose, or like you will win more games by having them as white scars, because you will literally win in the movement phase in games that are won there in that kind of phase, basically. And the players that really dominate the movement phase are going to win more games. So Reavers can advance in charge, right? But because they have the Phobos keyword and there's a Phobos power, you can basically double move them, which means their threat range is ginormous. And the ability to ignore cover in terms of distances is also excellent. So now you have a very points efficient unit for something that is actually quite durable with 2 wounds each. So a big 10-man unit that can double move. And actually you could probably take 20 or 30 of these and do the same trick turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. And there's, I think, some relics you can give your psychers to help them cast their powers a little bit more efficiently, which you definitely need to do. So you could run 30 Reavers, cast the first power, double move it into combat, and the next one, and then the next one. So you can stay out of line of sight, stay out of threat range from shooting ranges and all that stuff. You can put them into the middle of the board. And it's actually not a nice little basis of a list. Chuck in a little cheeky battalion of 3 units of 5 intercessors or incursors. Probably incursors are a better way for a nice forward pressure unit. Add in some assault sense that you put in deep strike and some characters with jump packs. Got a nice little list there. Yeah, it's come along all right already. Glassmoon has said, I'm on the mentorship since September and it's helped me win a tournament league. Top work. Love it. Yeah, I'd love to know what that league is. So let us know in our group as well. And obviously when we get back to the competitive scene, I'll release like how students are doing over on our podcast as well. Okay. Hi, I just joined. Really appreciate what you're doing. Really appreciate what you're doing, not what are you doing. Sorry. My question, I play Chaos Space Marines. How do I identify what units are best suited for which role of the game? Meat grinder, point holder, etc. Okay, so I think really for Chaos Space Marines, you've got a huge utility army there. There's so many different aspects in directions that you can go in. You know, something like bikes can be incredibly great at horde clearance. They can get so many shots per turn, and they're excellent at wrapping and trapping with such a large footprint. Okay, so something where you've got high rate of firepower is going to be, you know, brilliant at finding out their matchup. Okay, especially because you can make them Slanesh, so they can double shoot with endless cacophony. Something like Terminators, which are already quite tough and durable, making them even tougher and more durable. Again, they're going to be great at just holding objectives down and being a bit of a bully unit for you. Is a sort of, you can't come near me, because if you do, you're in trouble. Okay, so that's always quite a nice aspect. And then you've obviously got units like Obliterators that you can, you know, go, for example, with Iron Warriors. You can put lots of different buffs and abilities on them to make them more powerful, so that they can deliver the blow that they need to, which is eliminate any big targets or threats. So it's really understanding, you know, and again, please ask questions in the group all the time. So, hey guys, I'm looking at buying some Obliterators. What would be good target priority for them? All right. And then the lesson that we teach on a Monday, which is list of the week, you can then see how your list would do in those situations, and then obviously the coaches and the Vanguard tacticians will help you identify if you've got the right winning strategy there. And again, look, you're not going to get this straight away, which is why we can, you essentially, those lessons every day now that we've put into place are going to help you get loads of experience even before you get to the table when this coronavirus is over. So yeah, it's all about actioning your information that you're learning. Ben has said, sorry for repeats. I'm starting Tzeentch Demons and Screamers seem great. Would you pair them with Flamers or fire support that can keep up with them, or Pink Horrors for mass shooting? So I'll be honest, my knowledge of Tzeentch Demons is very, but I haven't really seen much use of Flamers. So it really depends on your entire build. If you're just going to stay pure Tzeentch Demons, again, you need to analyze what that unit's going to be capable of for you, what its job role is going to be, and then you need to really build around that. So sometimes just taking one unit isn't going to be enough. What, let me ask you this, what's the largest amount of Flamers you can take in one unit? And then what if you took 3 units of that? How does that then look? All right. Let's really make extreme. And this is the lesson I'm going to be teaching today. Here's the extreme version of this list. And then how much do I need to dial that back by in order to have the same efficiency at completing that job role, whilst I can then bring in other elements of a list to bring in balance. Okay. And that's, if you can start to do that, you can have a really well-rounded balanced list that's able to do things which you've got a really cool thematic army that you love using. And if you can do that, that's a winner. So yeah, I would ask you, try and use as many Flamers on the table as you possibly can and see what that does. And then see what your list lacks and see what you need to add in, whether it's a big unit, a more durable unit. Do you suffer on ground control? Are you getting tabled too quickly? Yeah. Are you able to still wrap and trap? Maybe that's where the horrors can come in. So loads of different things there for you. Anyway, guys, this is 35 minutes, and I'm going to call that a day. So if you're interested in the mentorship program, you know what to do. The link is below. Head along. Today's lesson is going to be the list laboratory, where Joe has come up, or one of the Vanguard tacticians has come up with a list concept that I'm going to get everyone to recreate for themselves with a little challenge, so that, again, we can think about list creation in extremes. And the whole point and goal of the list laboratory is to help get you guys thinking creatively when you are list writing. So maybe there's a hidden gem in your codex that you've missed, and we're going to find it. So it also is going to give you the tools to understand your army completely, to know absolutely everything there is to know about your army, and also what you can do when the meta changes and shifts. What units to bring in and how to play differently, in the list laboratory is certainly going to help that. So anyway, so guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe, everyone.